July 28th, and this is an update on the evictions crisis in Maryland. This week, Maryland's district courts are set to resume hearing evictions cases, and the administrative order prohibiting residential evictions has already been lifted. This wave of evictions will mean that hundreds of thousands of people will be thrown into homelessness. Due to the recession and unemployment, renters have been struggling for months to pay rent. Even before COVID-19 hit, rent in Maryland was too high and rising. 49% of Marylanders pay more than 30% of their income in rent. Now, many of these already burdened renters have been falling behind on payments, and landlords are preparing to make renters homeless if they can't pay. Evictions disproportionately affect Maryland's communities of color. In Baltimore, the number of Black renters removed in eviction cases was 3 times higher than their white counterparts. This isn't supposed to be happening. The governor passed an executive order to stop evictions. However, the executive order as written is vague and limited. It only prevents renters who can prove that their loss of income was due to COVID-19. 99% of renters will go into evictions proceedings without legal counsel and often have no idea how to furnish the necessary proof. Many renters will fall through the cracks. Even more will be bullied by the threat of eviction into leaving apartments without the matter even being brought before a judge. Many renters are already falling into the legal gray area created by the existing moratorium, with landlords providing false information to desperate tenants in order to discourage them from contesting evictions in court. Landlords can also exploit loopholes in the current executive order to force tenants out, even if they should be protected. A landlord can file for eviction on the grounds other than failure to pay rent. Uh, in this moment, if your landlord filed eviction paperwork prior to COVID, you can be evicted. If you can't prove you're behind on rent due to COVID, you can be evicted. If your landlord seeks to evict you for any reason other than failure to pay rent, you can be evicted as of Saturday. The Maryland legislature could fix this problem, but have not met to do so. More than 70 organizations have signed a letter calling the Maryland General Assembly to convene an emergency session to fix these loopholes in time to prevent a huge wave of homelessness, evictions, and chaos for renters. The legislature has been out of session since March, at a time that urgent action is needed. These legislators are failing to provide leadership and solutions. These evictions are the direct result of government policy, and the government has a duty to fix the crisis they've created. People's inability to pay are a result of the lack of sufficient federal financial stimulus, state level decisions to reopen early, and ultimately, failure to invest sufficiently in rental assistance programs. The state has done far too little and far too late for renters. In late June, Governor Hogan announced a $30 million eviction prevention rental assistance program. However, this amount of money simply isn't nearly enough to prevent the wave of evictions. Maryland needs to follow Pennsylvania's decision to invest $175 million of its coronavirus relief funds into housing relief programs. I, along with countless renters, organizers, and community leaders, have been calling on the Maryland General Assembly to reconvene before it's too late. Our community has been devastated from government housing inaction before. It's been more than 10 years since the '08 housing collapse, and my community still has not recovered. The coming wave of evictions will be even worse. I'm Delegate Julian Ivey, and this has been Dispatches.